What the party piece of shit. Sorry. I noticed because PartinG and I are friends on Korea. I guess he doesn't come to North America that much. So I'm like, oh, we're not friends. And then added him. And he said, sorry, I don't friend with dirty body boy or something. I didn't quite read that. The game was loading up. Here, you guys can peruse my private messages with PartinG here in a moment. Tempo! Tempo's got my back on Twitter, by the way. I have no quality memes to share. Just love you, fam. Keep doing you, Riff. Poop emoji excluded. Tempo, 77 months. I love you. Months aside. Thank you very much for stopping by the stream tonight, my dude. But hang on real quick before I do the intros. What the fuck did PartinG... What did this motherfucker just say to me? I never friend with dirty body man. What does that even mean? All right. Game 1 in a best of 5 grand finals for the ESL Americas Cup. Of course, here in the Americas Cup, we have a Korean versus a Frenchman. Makes total sense. Spawning here to the top left, we have the red Protoss. It's Dick Boy
PartinG.
And his opponent to the bottom right, the blue Protoss from Raise Your Edge,
PtitDrogo.
Now I'm just going to say this very quickly again to the live audience. PartinG is streaming today, and he's streaming his live finals right now. And I absolutely encourage you to check out his stream, but you need to understand something really quickly, and that's we are forced to use a 2-minute stream delay here on the broadcasting side. It's just a rule. If we don't use it, we can't play this tournament. We can't host this tournament. We can't cast this tournament. The players, however, do not. And PartinG is streaming with no delay. So while I encourage you to enjoy what he's doing on his stream, do not bring spoilers back to this one. Zero tolerance, quick bans for life. If you're the type of guy to watch PartinG win and tell us about, oh my God, are you kidding me? And then tell us about it on this stream. They have to meet here. They have to. They don't see each other. Get the f out of here. Okay, now they're going to see each other for sure. Oh my God, so awkward. Okay, so they're both setting up for proxies, and they both do it at very similar locations on the map. I don't think either of them will feel comfortable committing to this. It would take a real dirty body boy to commit to this. So rather than use them for a failed proxy, they both decide to scout the main base of their opponent. And looks like PartinG was maybe going to block that out. Or maybe they're just worried about gateway proxies, which would be odd to see, but either way, there's no way up there right now. You know, I didn't even consider this, but the pylons may have been mind game pylons too, which is hilarious. For those who don't know this tactic, it's something that's really exclusive pretty much to PvPs more than any other matchup. And that's, you know, you put your first pylon anywhere else on the map other than your main base, because you're guaranteed to be scouted in a PvP. There's going to be a probe in your base walking in circles. It happens until you get Cybercore Tech out. So they'll see everything you're doing. And if they see, most notably, no second pylon, immediately the alarms ring for proxy. I think Drogo's actually going to proxy this, by the way. I think this one's actually going to be like a Stargate or something, and not just continuing mind gameplay. But regardless of whether it is or isn't, all of PartinG's scouting right now looks so confusing to see. Oh, it's a gateway. Okay. So fast warp-ins to the top side of the map instead of having to walk all the way from home. Makes a lot of sense. Meanwhile, PartinG's getting ready for, I think he's worried about potentially DTs. The Forge seems strange to rush out otherwise. +1 weapons is favored by some players, but not this quickly. There's not enough units to really benefit from it. Okay, blink at a party. I mean, there's two trains of thought for PvP, right? Generally, it's either Charge Lot Archon or Blink Stalker Disruptor. But Drogo is not going to give PartinG time to figure out either because he's hitting really hard, really fast. It's 7 Stalkers to 1. PartinG is so beyond screwed here. He's got a shield battery, and a shield battery actually goes a long way in these small-scale engagements, but this is too much. Probes are pulled out of desperation as they need to be. Goes back to mining. Parting can lose about, you know, 6 or 8 of these before it's really hurting him. Oh my god, did that probe snipe off the kill? Oh, I'll never be able to find out now. Yeah, it did. Okay, I just clicked on that probe and that one killed. That probe killed the sentry. And by the way, this does sacrifice a lot of workers, as we kind of expected. The shield battery's out of juice. I think Parting did a lot. Parting did a lot with an impossible situation, but it's still not going to be enough. And Drogo is alpha mailing the out of Parting right now. He's right in there. He's wiggling his fingers because it's fun for him, even though he knows it hurts for Parting. GG's get called and Drogo takes game number 1. But okay, folks, we're getting into game number 2. Spawning here to the bottom left. I think he's a little upset, actually. Maybe I shouldn't poke him with whispers. This bear says, okay, to the good luck, have fun. It's Big Boy.
Parting.
To the top right, we have the blue Protoss up 1-0. It's
Drogo.
Now, I don't know that Parting really gets on tilt too easily. I've seen him lose a lot of games that I think would have frustrated other people, but then I tune into his stream and watch him laugh it off. I do feel for him a little bit though, because that was a pretty crappy way to lose. He knows it. I knew it. We all know it. And it's not because Drogo like didn't deserve to win. I think Drogo capitalized on that very well. It's just that Parting knows he made these mistakes that were totally avoidable. He took risks he didn't need to take, like that natural. Like, can we just real talk about that too? We almost had like a real David versus Goliath situation. It was 7 stalkers to 1 to start. 1 stalker and 1 shield battery. Every other player I can think of is dead to that fight before they even get a chance to fight back. The fact that Parting held on and almost made that, like, that's I think what probably would be tilt inducing to me. Alaska Winter says you need to stop rooting for Parting. That's a good point. Drogo, take it home. Send this Korean back. There we go. Now I'm officially not rooting for Parting. Wink. Can you even wink? Karma. The karmic justice of the universe. 4 a.m. Pro or Drogo. Yeah, I mean, for these guys, it's $100, which is great. It's those ESL points which are hella valuable, but it's also just the end to a long day of suffering StarCraft. I will say it's got to feel pretty bad that there's no second place prize for it, but you know, it's ESL and they've actually done it like this for a long time. Ooh, pylon, well, shield battery, but the building blocks the probe into the base, so he's actually not going to get that one back. If he thought about this sooner, he could have recalled it, but rip. Sadly, I don't think that really got too much advantage. It's just a couple stalkers walking across the map for Parting. We'll meet a couple of stalkers back at home, so not really a fight he can take for anything. He is going to go for zone expansion. When the stalkers poke up here, though, and see no nexus, okay, if Drogo starts the nexus now, Parting's going to feel fine. If Drogo waits to put the nexus down, okay, I'd say he could really send Parting spiraling, but never mind. What do we do when PvP shows up in Stream Raiders? I don't know, dude. Stream Raiders is like in beta. It's PvP is ultra beta. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if I've even planned to play for the PvP days. We'll see. Shreen says Parting takes it emotionally but shakes it off quickly. You know what? I'd say that's actually a really good summary of Parting in general. Also, why did nobody tell me the Stream Raiders thing's kind of blocking out the tech stuff? I don't like that. Let's move that down. Let me select something, make sure it's not in the way of that either. Yeah, sorry about that, dudes. Like I said, I had to build all the overlays from scratch. All of this took me a couple hours. I know it's not perfect, but we'll get it sorted. Anyways, back to the game. Drogo's got a warp prism coming up, and that robo was revealed by the hallucination, which is good. Parting's gonna go back for round 2, probably try and catch whatever came out of this. If he doesn't see an immortal on the ground, he'll know there'll be a warp prism to look out for. And he's got blink. Parting has blink on the way. This is the Parting special. Parting did so much last game without blink. You're gonna watch me do blink again. This warp prism getting caught really big though. The deadly medic says $100 is nothing. Okay, prove it. Donate $100 right now or shut the f up. $100 is nothing, dude. $100 is $100. I don't care how rich you are. Stalker is going to see this. He doesn't have the safety of blink yet, so that's actually really risky. Blink might not even be done in the time for this fight. And of course, Immortals outgun Stalker super hardcore. Drogo doesn't have high ground vision right now. Party might have been able to get a shot off there, but that would have been risky. Force fields on force fields. 2 shield batteries will help a lot. High ground vision from these Immortals. Trying to deny some of those shots will be nice for those Stalkers. Sentries on the front line getting kind of pushed back and roasted. Shield batteries out of juice. Party in some trouble. Blink is still like another 20 seconds out. So there's no blink for this game. Micro mechanics alone are not quite good enough. You see him trying to force these Stalkers into a choke. Probes get into the fight too. Warp Prism is going to start microing any of these units to get low. Stalker are projectile based, so you can juke out some of the shots. Parting holds but loses 12 workers. However, now blink is done, and if he wants to give chase, okay, it's a little risky, but Drogo's going to warp back home to make sure this doesn't get out of hand. I think Parting saw that too. So look, here's the assessment for Drogo. This evened up the worker count. There was a small advantage when the probes were pulled, but this should even out here in a moment. So when it comes down to it now, tech-wise, I think I favor Drogo over Blink because Immortals can't be juked out. The Immortal shot connects to its target pretty much no matter what. Tries to get that Warp Prism. Oh my god, that was risky. But this is a dangerous situation because Parting's more mobile with his Blink, and he's going to be able to react better to fights with Micro, but on the whole, Immortals are just better. Robotech in general is pretty good. I can't believe Parting's not losing these, by the way. He's getting those really low shaved up. Of course, now they're going to be in like 1 to 2 shot range, depending on where the shields are at. Riff, I think I know a guy who's pretty good at overlays. Yeah, it's me. I'm the best. Oh, blinking on top of the Immortal, blocking from running away. Shield battery keeping it topped off, but it is going to eventually lose out here to the Stalkers. This is going to kill quite a few workers. He's warping in some units. I'm surprised he didn't try and shoot the newly warped in units. Goes for the probe kills instead. Meanwhile, Drogo sets up on the other side of the field. Zealots have been warped in here. Recall on the Stalkers to bring back home. All hands on deck. It's an emergency. Drogo, no! Who's lagging?
Game paused.
Don't be me. Don't be me. A day's work for $100. These guys have played a tournament for 4 to 5 hours for $100. If whatever job you're working gives you the freedom to shrug off $100, I'm very happy for you. But I go back to my original statement. Shut the f up. The rest of us would really love to get $100 for 4 to 5 hours of work. This is a pretty intense fight. Very, very, very careful to stay close to the shield batteries. Drogo, on the other hand, really wants to break this. He knows he's down on workers after losing some to Parting. One of the Immortals goes down a little too far away from the Warp Prism to scoop it up and save it. Adepts are pretty good in this situation. If you get a few more Zealots in here, though, just to soak the shots from the Immortals, this will go really well for Parting because another Immortal! Oh my god, the Madman's starting to make this look plausible. The Madman's making this start to look kind of doable. When the Immortals are gone, the Stalkers have all the power, but of course there's still even just one is a threat. Goes for a shot on it, picks up in the Warp Prism. Drogo keeping it alive at 6 HP. Some cannons were made. Wait, when were cannons made? I thought those were shield batteries this whole time. Cannons are going to be a very interesting take on this. With the Immortals gone, cannons are actually a really sick defensive mechanism. The Adepts transfer through to the main base, hoping to get to the probe line, but Parting was chasing these before they even left the natural, so he's on top of this. Handles this like a boss. Meanwhile, to the front side, more depths warp in, so more threats for sure. For the cannons, the Zealots, these minor investments out of Parting, he's up 10-something workers. The longer this goes, he's got +2 weapons. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Parting. GG ties things up now, 1-1. Okay, guys, it's a best of 5 that's tied up 1-1. It's basically a best of 3. Spawning here to the top side of Everdream. We have the red Protoss player. He is the Korean
Parting.
And spawning here to the bottom left, the blue Protoss from France.
PtitDrogo.
I missed the game. Replay it with words. Whoa! What the fuck? Well, not that guy, but PtitDrogo. Holy goddamn! Sorry, I didn't even censor that. What I should have said was, what the PtitDrogo, thank you very much for just making my week, by the way. Sorry, I had closed my dashboard earlier. I'm just reopening it now to see if you read a message. No, he didn't. Monty is just the silent giver. Thank you very much, Monty, for the $100, dude. You the fucking man. There I go. Forgetting to censor again. All right, look, I sarcastically joked about the whole best of 3, best of 5 thing. It doesn't matter. The point of this is it's tied up, and this is very important because I think Parting was on a downward twist. We kind of talked about the tilt factor at the start of the game. I'm glad he was able to shrug that off because that was a hell of a game for him to play defensive into offensive and win. Love seeing good players do good micro and be rewarded for it. But you know, kind of is a bit of a reset. We have a real proxy coming down, by the way. This has been scouted out of Drogo, kind of. So Parting actually mind games this proxy in reverse. Most of the time in PvP, you put this pylon down, your opponent scouts the one pylon in your main base, red flags go up. In a weird sort of ironic situation, Parting actually very intentionally built a second pylon to make Drogo think there was no proxy, but there really is going to be a proxy. And what's kind of important about this pylon Drogo's building is it prevents a wall off, sure, but also helps look for whether Parting would be putting something nearby the cyber core or not. He actually cancels it to no avail. Shield battery on the low ground. Parting's getting ready for something aggressive out of Drogo. Meanwhile, his Stargate's cooking up, and that's a pretty ripe and open looking mineral line. If Drogo, by paranoia and coincidence, throws in a shield battery, he'll actually be pretty good against the first Oracle. But if there is no shield battery to be found and stalkers are mucking about at the front, Parting might get a lot of worker kills. People ask about the national players. Okay, look, so for those who don't know we've been doing this for a while now with ESL. These are open cups. All of these ESL cups, anybody can play. Anybody from any region can participate in. Whether you come from France, Europe, Korea, it doesn't matter. North America to Korea, Europe to North America. The point is, it's server based. So when it's the Americas Cup, it just means all the games are going to play on the American server. Ooh. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh god, that got really risky. I thought for certain Parting would even come close to losing that, but only 2 probes killed for that? Ugh, not good. Why no clap bot today? We can't. It's a 2-minute stream delay. By the time you guys start clapping, it's gonna be totally random in the game, and that's gonna be super duper annoying. I'm not interested in that. Okay, well, zipping and zooming around with the oracles. There's still the threat of them nearby, which will keep Drogo at home for some time. That does give Parting a lot of freedom to take this base and get it sorted. He's only behind by a couple of probes, but Drogo did transfer a lot sooner.
Money, have some.
What is going on right now? What? I literally was just saying, like, I'm cool at $30. Thank you guys, though, for fucking blowing me away. Sorry, again, forgetting to mute. Blowing me away. Imperfectin just tipped $50. A big $50 holler to say money means a lot. This money well spent. Smiley face, keep up the good work. I don't feel like I deserve that, but thank you. Thank you kindly. The hallucinating Phoenixes chase these oracles all the way around. We have that probe still alive, may come into effect. I don't know. But the idea with the oracles at this point really is just to have Drogo's army not all on the front line. Oh, there's what? Why isn't the threshold one? That's not right. Oh dear. Thank you, Anonymous. I was gonna say though, the idea with the oracles is you just draw all the stalkers to the main base. Catching the oracles leaves them vulnerable to the front. PartinG's immortal busts through, but these force fields from Drogo are buying him some significant time. Meanwhile, those oracles could actually be a real threat if Drogo has to pull these stalkers away. They're gonna melt that mineral line, but Drogo's not pulling them away. So stasis wards would be kind of cool to see on the front line if PartinG is willing to get those up, but he's keeping those in the back line. Meanwhile, collapses on the top side. Shield batteries are pretty much already drained. This immortal's not that big of a deal, but it is a lot of firepower in this army to protect, so hopefully not going to leave that exposed. Adepts are just balling away here on top of the zealots that can't get through these force fields. That pylon goes down, but it's not powering anything too significant. The Oracle zipped in too. Didn't quite catch those until just now. PartinG grabs him around to rally with the army. There's an Archon on the ramp. It's being caught here and shuffled away in the Warp Prism, but I mean, this is starting to snowball. It's really hard to say because there's some really good defensive units out of Drogo, but PartinG's reinforcing with these Adepts, and at some point he says screw it to the army, and he just goes for the mineral lines. And that Archon is slowly regenerating shields, but like huge emphasis on slowly. Funny and ironically enough, sentries and stalkers are probably the only units in the entire game Archons don't get bonus damage against. So that Archon was not getting good hits initially, and he's playing a lot of dodgy shots here. PartinG in the meantime says, yeah, fine, you want to run around, you want to do this micro magic, I'll just hit you where it really hurts. And he goes for the probes. Force field's off the ramp. Warp Prism can scoop up 8 at a time, but it's still lost mining, that's still lost probes. 8 of them die. Archons break the force field on the ramp. I think PartinG still got too much though. And if at any point PartinG wants to cease this, pick up in the Warp Prism, transfer the Adepts through, I mean, he's doing a lot of micro right now to try and catch these. Drogo's doing some sick Warp Prism play too, by the way. These Archons, the fact that an Archon has anything less than green health is always impressive to see, but the Archons are in the Warp Prism, so it can't save the probes. Drogo falling further and further behind. This is another fantastic display of control and decision making out of PartinG. Drogo, some really cool control, some really good micro, but it's just not outplaying PartinG. And PartinG now gets to bring his micro into this. You are a Harmon user? BGHG, whatever that stands for, but PartinG takes a 2-1 lead. But dear viewers, this is best of 5, not best of 3, so it's not over yet. Okay, let's my cheeks are red now. Let's get this racing. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen. It is map number 4. This is match point with 2 points over his opponent. To the top left. Oh, I've got the, let me swap these around real quick. To the top left, he's actually not up 2 points. Ugh. To the top left, he's down 1 game at the moment, but he is on his last life with the worst introduction I could give him, the blue Protoss, PtitDrogo. And to the bottom right, I think we'll hype this one up a little bit because this big boy is up 2-1 and looking to finish off these finals. It's the red Protoss.
PartinG.
JT Anderson 31. Better than JT Anderson 30 and way better than JT Anderson 29. Thank you for the Twitch Prime, dude. So we've had some pretty big brain plays go on through this. And what's really fascinating is how I think they're really well matched for each other, big brain styles, but I mean, PartinG's on the next level for micro. I think everyone knows and respects this. Drogo's doing a really good job keeping up, but that's where the difference really becomes like decision making. Oh, Boggy Creek Monster gifted a Musketeer skin to Koei Jupes. High five. But anyways, so I think that Like on a big brain level, these two are pretty closely aligned, but obviously micro and control is playing a huge factor in this. PartinG's actually going for another proxy this time. It's not a goof around pylon. This is a little strange though, because Drogo hasn't scouted with a probe. It's such a blind, easy, and freebie scout, but by not poking out of the base right now, PartinG's going to be the one who gets up here to see what's going on, and Drogo's going to have no clue about this proxy. I'm a little worried about this because very specifically it's match point. If this was like game 2, I wouldn't be so worried about Drogo doing this, but by playing it safe and at home, he's not going to know about this proxy. So does he react to it well? It's not a Stargate, it's not a Robo, it's not a delayed proxy. This is gonna be stalkers up in his face by the time his first shield battery's done. And if PartinG wins these early game fights, this snowballs really quickly. Like, I don't want to be that guy, but this could be the end of the finals if Drogo doesn't handle this like very well. So best of luck to Drogo for this. He does come into the start of this 3 stalkers to 2. PartinG recognizes that and backs away for a moment. He's got more stalkers sauntering over. A bit of a deceptive natural base. This Phoenix will scout this and we'll see what's in the main base. And frankly, this won't look super jarring initially, but if Drogo reads this correctly, I think he puts down more show batteries right now. If he doesn't, he's gonna be in some trouble. Sentries will help a lot with this too. Got some more generosity going on in the chat here. Epoch coming back with the 50 months. See, that's why I asked for the bot to praise the donors. Go big boy, and Gibby gifted us up to Churro. But oh no, first stalker is plucked off immediately. The damage from PartinG is so big, the shield battery didn't even have a chance to actually factor into it. He uses the force field timing here to back away, and now Drogo's actually the one locked away from PartinG. PartinG just flipped the script. He used Drogo's own force fields against him. Oh my god, and this is the problem. Big Warprints come in here. Drogo's matching this now. It's about micro. 4 stalkers to 4. A probe gets into the mix, hoping for some misclicks. 3 more stalkers walk forward though. PartinG's reinforcements are here and ready to tango. And this shield battery is canceled. Oh, this is bad for Drogo, guys. Worker kill count evened up now. PartinG can walk away from this, be very satisfied with a soft contain. Drogo does have an immortal on the way, but oh god, the dominance. The alpha male energy coming out of PartinG is unreal. But I want to point out, PartinG didn't start winning this series until I started rooting for Drogo officially and legally. Now, of course, paranoia and superstition aside, this has been a really good turnaround for PartinG, and this has dominated Drogo's game 4. Now look, Drogo should be able to clean this up, I think. That immortal's getting a little bit low. It's getting a little bit scary. Oh my god, he's gonna get the immortal. That's huge. Now there's more stalkers coming in and there's no real threat to them. Just a couple of adepts. Who cares about that? Walk up to the high ground. Oh no. This spells doom. Probes are gonna get pulled. Drogo, not like this. But PartinG says yes, like this. And our stinky body Korean boy started off this series a deficit 0-1, a little bit on tilt going to game 2. Wasn't very satisfied. We got that O key instead of the good luck have fun, and now he's really put the screws to Drogo in game 3. And while the immortal does spawn, there's too many stalkers for it to handle. Probes trying to zone these out. Oh, the pause quit. This is when you know Drogo's fucking smashing his keyboard right now. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that, but that's exactly, I called it.